Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Hey, Lisa Calovi. Hey, Barb's Country Home. Good to see you guys. Hey, Callie Homesteading with Pooh Bear. Hey, Gwen, Broke Cowgirl, Homan's Homestead. Hello, hello. Hey, Ariella. Good to see you, Ariella Viking. Good to see you guys. Happy New Year. Yes, Gwen, I did. I did right before I went live. I did. I always forget. It's not that important. So Happy New Year and good to see you. We are doing well. We were not sick, and we were dealing with sick animals. So I know I heard Monica say that we were sick, but we were not. We just couldn't be there because we were dealing with some sick animals. But we are good. So we've had a week. It's been a rough past few days. Norman developed a limp, and it went from a limp to being lame very quickly, and was really pretty bad. He was walking with a limp, like his rear right leg. Hey, the Cow Emporium, good to see you. Happy New Year. He was walking with a limp on his right rear leg, and we noticed it, and we figured, maybe they just got into it in the house because they tussle over spots, but they really don't fight, so that's a good thing. Because boars, male pigs have tusks, even the barrows. So Norman has tusks as a castrated male, and the boar has tusks, and they can cause a lot of damage by accident. Some bloody, gory stuff. I know Halbert Farm had a pig. When I visited them a couple years ago, Uno, one of their boars, got hit in the eye and he lost his eye. So it's pretty serious. So no signs of injury, no heat, no swelling, no bulges, no lumps, no signs of anything. So it was kind of frustrating, because usually when you have an injury, you have heat or swelling. And it progressed to the point where he couldn't walk. He was struggling to get up, and he was laying in the barn a lot. Thanks, Andale. It's kind of better. So I ended up calling the vet on New Year's Eve because I was afraid to let it go further. Hey, Troy Sutton. And the vet graciously helped us by phone to use an anti-inflammatory injection that we had on hand. And I had to call him back today. I didn't get him, but I left emails and messages. So, but I don't feel there's an emergency at this point, because he said to give him the medication for 5 days. So he received it for 2 days, and tonight was the third. But this morning we saw improvement over the first day. It's not huge. He's still struggling to get up. But he said it could be a soft tissue injury, or it could be a strain that didn't lead to heat or swelling, or it could be a pinched nerve, or it could be neurological. So neurological would be worst case, and we'll just leave that at that, because I'm hoping not. But he's still having trouble getting up, but it's better than it was. So I'm hoping tomorrow brings better stuff, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday I'll be in touch with the vet again, and we'll see how that goes. But he was super amazing to help us. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Lisa. No worries. Hey, Sparkman, good to see you. So yeah, so he had his struggle also on New Year's Eve. Thanks, Lisa Calovi. You rock. Take your time. Don't rush. Also on New Year's Eve, Eleanor decided she wasn't going to eat. And Eleanor is the alpha and is the most vocal at feeding time. And so that became very concerning to me, that she got up at the barn, looked at me, food was put out, and I put a bowl in the barn for her, and she went back to bed and was snoring. So the next morning, though, she came out and she ate, which was a huge improvement, and then by nighttime, she was back to herself, eating hay and all of that. So just trying to figure out, what's going on with Norman. So I'm hoping we don't have to make tough decisions, but that's always a reality. And I only know what day it is because I've had to look at my calendar to make sure how many days we have been giving the injection to make sure I follow the vet's orders. I have it in my phone. Plus, I also, oh, I also had to mark Friday, and my phone was marked that it was Friday to call the vet. So, because I didn't want to forget because he so graciously helped. I had called him and said, now he lives next door. So the cool part is when I called late in the day again, I said, hey, if I need to come get meds, I know you close at 5. And she's like, he lives next door. So if you need meds, he'll wait for you and you can come get him because he's in Wyoming. And it would be hard to get Norman there because getting him up was hard. So I had called the vet and I just said, hey, like you castrated our piglets and I need some help with a pig and I'm happy to pay for the phone call. I'm not looking for anything for free. But I know it's like $250 for him to just come here. And that's the first charge. The visit and everything would be extra. Hey, Barb's Country Home, good to see you. So and he said no, which I thought was amazing. So super excited. Taught us how to use a medication that we had on hand from Whalen. And even though it was expired, he walked me through what it should look like and it would be safe to use, and it was. So that's good. So I'm hoping to get other medication from him and maybe an antibiotic if indicated on Monday or Tuesday, I should say, because Monday I'll call him. He won't call till after hours because he's swamped. Absolutely swamped. It's amazing. Norman is lame and having some issues, and we had to call the vet. So bottom line is he's showing some signs of improvement, Barb, but not completely. So we're going to go through this and see what we need to do, and hopefully we don't have to make tough decisions. But if that's what has to be done, we want him to not suffer. So if it's neurological. And then I talked about Eleanor was not feeling well. She's better, so that's good. I mean, we can't complain. This is really the first major thing we've had happen since we've owned the pigs. Before that, we didn't really have anything major. I mean, we had Whalen be sick with worms, and that worked out because at least once we dewormed him, we knew what was going on, and we were able to keep up with the regimen and realized he didn't get the full dose when I put it in his mouth because he was biting me. And then what was the other thing? We had the win before that, which we've talked about. So we shall see. Thank you, Barb. It sucks. It just sucks. I'm just going to tell you like it is. It sucks. And you know me, I wear my heart on my sleeve, so it's just sucks. But we're not giving up yet. We're going to see how the 5 days does because he has shown improvement each day. So maybe by the end of day 5, he will be better. Thank you. Thank you, Ariella. What else? Do the sows go off feed when they are in heat? I ask that because sometimes my goats get finicky during that. Eleanor has never gone off feed before. So even in heat, they still eat. They don't get finicky. I've never noticed that here at all. But she just looked exhausted is all I could say. She looked fine. She got up. She came to the carpet door in the barn and looked at me, but she just kept yawning, and she turned around and laid back down, and I kept looking at her, watching her breathing, and it wasn't labored. We checked her every hour that night. And she just slept. So I don't know. Maybe the kids kept her up all night. I don't know. Thank you, Holman's Homestead. Yeah, it's been challenging. My 5-year-old hen Shakira died yesterday of the pneumonia. I had her since day one of being a chicken mom. I'm so sorry, Barb. It's hard. How did you know she had pneumonia? I'm just curious. Did you take her to a vet, or did you know what was going on? I'm so sorry. And then what else was I going to say? So if you guys remember, Ryan has been working on that pig crate so we can quote unquote work the pigs, right? Trim hooves and trim tusks. And a while back I said we had to do some testing on it, and we did, and it didn't go so great. And we realized that we needed to add 2 more bars to the bottom, because when Ryan started designing it 3 years ago, it underwent some changes, and we designed it for Sherman, who is very long like Eleanor. We put Grant in it, and he kind of slowly slid out the back. He did not get hurt. Hey, Sifting Some Soil, good to see you. Hey, Gypsy and Vanilla Gorilla, good to see you guys. We had lifted it very slowly, knowing that we wanted to test it before anything happened. And he kind of backed up, and he slipped through one of the holes, which I am blown away by. And boars have thick shoulder plates. They're hard, which protects them. Anyway, we got him back down, realized it was not a go, we got him down very safely. He was fine. And well, we did it again today. Oh, I got it, Barb. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear about Shakira's passing. So Ryan put the bars in, put more pipe insulation in, which is like the noodles that you get in the dollar store, but we had a bag of pipe insulation. So he tie strapped that on there as padding. So the design of the crate on the forklift is, here's the forklift, lifts it up. And when he's standing in the crate lifts up, and it lifts up the entire crate. And then his legs are hanging down below. Hey, Scott, Rambling with the Brums, good to see you. So we got him. It was a little bit of maneuvering, and we got it. And I got video of it. I just need to edit it because I have to take out the swearing. Because, when you get frustrated, or you're like, oh, well, we're bad at that. Let's just say that. So, but Grant was so good to walk into this crate a second time, no trouble, calm as can be. And he let us do his tusks, and his tusks. Now, keep in mind, he's got here. This is the best way to show it. On each side, there's an upper and a lower. So his lower is a lot shorter, not as damaging as the upper. The upper is like literally like long. Some people cut them because they go into their boar's face and cause an abscess. So, we didn't have that problem, thankfully. But you use a Gilly wire. So it's like a cable, and you just saw it off. So this is the first time we were doing it. We always take precautions with the boar tusks, and I don't go in there as often with them. I've been teaching Grant by putting my hand on his head and telling him no. And when he stops pushing against my hand, which he does, I tell him, good boy, and I pet him and I walk away. I realize he could push me over. I'm not naive, but he does respond. And it's because I taught him to rub on me when he was little. I should have never done that. So anyway, we got his top tusks done with the Gilly wire on either side. And get this, he didn't even move. He's so calm. Then Ryan took a Dremel to smooth out the edges. And Grant was fine with it. He had a Dremel right here. Smelled like you were at the dentist. It was terrible. But it worked out so well. He was such a good boar. Then we cut his trimmed his hooves. He really did not need much of a hoof trim at all. We just did it because he was in there and we wanted to be able to have him get used to it. And we also don't want to stress them out because he was nervous. You could see he was stressed, but he was not in distress. So we just kept petting him and talking to him while, Ryan worked and stuff, and it worked. So we got one pig done today, and it's not a lot, but it would be different if we had a big cattle chute where we could run them through. It just took a lot of learning the quirks of the new cage that Ryan made, which is going to be a godsend because it was so much easier than flipping them. Flipping them when they were little was hard enough. I can't even imagine flipping them now. So super excited about that. And so Norman we want to do, but we can't do it now because we could cause him more pain and hurt him more. So we're just going to leave him for now. His tusks are a lot smaller than Grant's was. So we got all that. But it was really, really good to get that done because I was kind of dreading it. So, but yeah, very excited. Very excited. So tell me, you guys. Yeah, yeah, I did. I kept telling him he was a good boy because he was so good, Barb. He just sat there. And don't get me wrong, like Grant is very agile. He jumps up on the fence every night, up on the gate. He jumps up on the gate. He's on his hind legs walking around. And he was actually, when we put him down and he got a little more leverage, he was able to move around. So it was definitely, I've seen other pigs in crates like this with forklifts where some pigs go crazy and can turn around. So we are very aware of that. We have to be careful and be ready to put him back down if that's the case. But it really, super thrilled because it's one of those things we'll use once a year. It's not something we're going to use all the time, but we haven't had it to date and we haven't been able to flip them. So we're trying to get caught up. The ladies need their feet done. And so the ladies are the worst. The boys are fine. The ladies tend to be more lazy, and so their hooves don't wear off. So one of the things we did was on the hoof ramp, on the ramp to the sow house, we put grip, like tread tape, and we're going to see how long it lasts. We clean the area, we put the tape down. So we're hoping that'll help file hooves a little more and give Eleanor grip. We noticed Eleanor needed a little more grip than Fiona. But, and then we're thinking of things like putting concrete by the feeders because the concrete will help wear their hooves down too. But the girls got their hooves trimmed before farrowing season this year. We did it while they were laying down and I was giving them belly rubs, and I called Ryan over and he trimmed as much as he could in the short time they were laying there. And that bought us more time, which was really good. So I'm glad about that. So Gwen is fixing to be on Baby Goat Watch. Moon Pie, first possible due date, January 10th. It would be so exciting to see. So exciting to see. We were talking about it. I think we're going to breed Fiona this year and not Eleanor and give Eleanor a break. Because Eleanor had the babies on her a lot longer this year, and we think she needs time to, her condition is the best it's ever been, but I think it would be a good idea to just give her a break because she's been going every year since 22. Very exciting, Gwen. So what are some things that, you guys are reflecting on of your past year, 2025, and what are some things you're thankful for? What are some things you're proud of or excited that you accomplished? And maybe what are some things you want to try and do better? I'm curious. I know for us, one of our goals was, and we did it tonight, actually, right before the live. We went through our medication and first aid kit and organized it a lot better than it had been because for years it's become a catch all. And we had some liquid leak. So we cleaned everything off and wiped out the drawers, put everything back in, separated by chicken and pig. And then we put liquid bottles in Ziplocs and marked them, got rid of expired stuff because stuff expires, and ordered more needles for injections because we always need them for the pigs for deworming and also for like situations like this with Norman. Because the other day, New Year's Day, our farm store was open and we drove down there because we needed more needles. We only had like enough to get us through New Year's Day for the adult pigs, which was an oversight. So we made sure we went down and got more to get us through, which is good. And we just ordered more dewormer and stuff like that. Gwen said, thankful the holidays are over. It was a good year. Hoping my garden is better this year than the past 2 years. I'm with you. I'm thankful the holidays are over. I think it was a good year here too. And I agree with you on the garden being better than the past 2 years because you've had all that rain. And I know that that just was so disappointing and disheartening for you. So I hope this year is a lot better for you. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you, Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. Good to see y'all. But yeah, so I think the pig crate was a success, and I think that that was really our finally nice to see it come to fruition where we were able to use something to work the pigs versus just our usual having to flip them because it's a lot, especially now we're 5-6 years later and it's harder to do. And one of the things as we move forward, as we're getting older, we will stick to smaller animals, like moving towards quail and rabbits at some point, not yet, but at some point. So we're always thinking ahead of stuff like that. Anybody else want to share about their 2025 and what they're thankful for or what they were excited to have accomplished? Barb said, I started a variety of new pepper seeds. Spring is right around the corner. Yes, you and your peppers, I tell you, you slay peppers like nobody's business, Barb. You do such a great job. Really impressive. Very cool. Yes, thankful for family and friends, Sandy. Absolutely. So important. So important. What are some things y'all are looking forward to for this year? What are you looking to accomplish? I'm curious. I know Gwen was saying she was hoping her garden would be better this year than the past 2 years. But I think for us it was the pig crate and obviously the garden. Even though y'all know it's not my favorite, I still do it because I want the food, which is why I've always persisted because I want the food. I definitely want to do more spinning, and I definitely want to expand my knitting and try to do a sweater. The problem with that is I lack attention span. So it may take me a whole year to do a sweater, but I'm willing to wait. It'll be nothing fancy, just an easy pullover, but I definitely want to do more of that. I agree. Fresh veg are super fabulous. No worries, Ariella. No worries. Lots of lurking and listening. Awesome. Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think it'll, it's just something I want to try. The ladies in my fiber group really, really inspire me because they're very talented and I would love to get better. I mean, I've learned how to do socks. My socks are not fabulous, but they're socks and they're wearable. They've got mistakes and that's fine. So I'd like to get better at that, but I really, really want to do a sweater. I finally finished Ryan's pair of socks. They're short because I didn't have a lot of yarn, but that's okay. His next pair, I can make them longer. Gwen says, I want to do more sewing. What? I don't know yet. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. I say that to myself too. Like, I want to do more of this, but then I'm like, what am I going to make with it? So one thing I do want to learn is I have a fleece that somebody gave to me to be able to try the process of taking a fleece, skirting it, washing it, doing everything and turning it into yarn. So I do want to try that. It's not something I want to do all the time, but I definitely want to learn how to do it. And I did buy a natural dye book for yarn that was on sale on Black Friday. And so I'm very excited about that. Barb would like to post more videos. Last year, I only posted 11 videos. Yep, absolutely. And you can do it, Barb. You've been doing a lot better. You know what I mean? It takes time. Sometimes that's why I haven't posted a video. I'm not going to keep repeating posting things because for me, it just feels redundant. I know all the social media people tell you to do it, but for me, it's redundant. So I'm just not going to do it. And I try to think of something to make a video on, and it's not necessarily a how-to. Maybe it's just a vlog and an update. But the reality of it is I try to at least pack information into it. And that's my goal, because I don't want to waste your time, So did you get all of your cleanup from the wind done? No. So the pig barn was hit by a tree and we got the pig barn repaired. However, the trees are still laying there because they're quite tall and quite heavy. And we have somebody who expressed interest in taking the wood. And so we have left it laying there because it's out of our way. A lot of it is cut up. And so when he comes, we'll take care of the rest of it. And then we're going to pile the brush up on the rocks there. And hopefully if we get a lot of snow, we'll be able to burn there. That's our goal. But that's pretty much it. And then I had to walk the pastures and take all the ponderosa pine clumps out of there because Fiona was running towards them and eating them. And they can be toxic. So we had to get rid of them. I know it's mainly reproductive toxicity, but it can also be general, which is what I've read for pigs. So I don't take any chances. I go and clean the green needles out. The brown needles, the dead needles haven't been an issue. Let's see. Let me catch up. Sorry. Barb said, my voice goes out too fast. Hey, Barb, what if you tried? I know that that's a struggle for you. What if you tried like filming a video, a little clip at a time over a week, and that way your voice is not strained in any way? Just a thought. I could be wrong because I know you've been through a lot. Ariella said, me, keep improving with YouTube stuff. No more using Afterpay except for emergencies. Those are good goals. And Ariella also said, I lack attention span unless it's something I'm obsessed with. Yeah, I tend to be like that too. Sometimes I'm a bit of an instant gratification person where, I want to make the socks and I want the socks done that night and I know better. So then I kind of get turned off and sit on them for 6 months. Yeah, sometimes I'm guilty of that. Hey, Busy You, Farm and Fibers, 2026 year of fix. Want to finish projects, catch up on maintenance items. Those are very good things. And man, they're a pain. We had to do that with our fences. And that's what the pig areas we're dealing with a lot of erosion from the pigs, just the nature of the game. And I was actually talking about this earlier, and I don't know if you were here, Busy You, but I was talking about trying to put like concrete underneath the feeders so where they can step on the concrete, because it'll also help trim hooves at the same time versus being on the dirt. But yeah, maintenance is never ending. So are projects. Gwen says, life happens. I made a video today repairing a water faucet leak outside. Oh, good, Gwen. I hope it was easy for you. I hope it was easy. I will have to check that out. Ariel said, totally get that. Busy You said, appreciate your vlogs. Love to listen in. Inspires and encourages me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes I find they're boring, but I try to like make them very quick and to the point. Because again, I don't want to waste people's time, but I also know there's a lot of friends in the community, whether it's our local community or here on YouTube. People like to see what's going on, so I will definitely do one. I'm hoping to have one out on Monday on the pig crate that we did. Like I said, I have to edit out the swearing, the frustration swearing. Not proud, but it happened. So I'll get that done, and then I can post it because YouTube would not be too pleased with it. Yeah, it would be good. Holman's Home said, that's what we think. One of the things that we noticed is, I tied one thing begets another, right? So the sows, we never tied their bulls to the fence before for any length of time. When the boar was in there with them, that's Grant with Eleanor and Fiona, we chained their rubber bulls to the fence. And that was because they were going all the way down the hill and it just made chores crazy. So we were like, let's do this right. Well, of course, now there's erosion under the fence. And when Johnny and Willie were little, Willie got out, which is fine because he goes right back into his mom. But still, it's the point. I had to go around and get him. So we really, want to do some things to prevent the erosion from keep happening. Because what the pigs do is eat out of the bowls, and then they proceed to lick the dirt for hours after they eat get up all the pieces that they spilled. So over time, their snouts and all that, it's not even that they're rooting, but it's just, they make the ground really hard, and it's like this far below the fence now. Crazy. One of the other things we had to do was, if you remember, Johnny and Willie, just like Piggly and Wiggly last year, they kept running under the gate because they were little. Well, Johnny and Willie were getting bigger, and they were getting to the point where I had raised the gate up to the highest setting, allowing them to get into that area with the two gates to feed them separately. Those little stinkers. Have a great weekend, Holman's Homestead. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year to you, friends. We put a piece of hog panel on the bottom of the gate and strapped it on there and wired it on. Those little stinkers pushed the panel out, pushed the gate up, and got out into the extra area. Meanwhile, we put that panel there to keep them from getting stuck where they would get wedged, because they get so excited at mealtime that they can't wait their turn. So today we put a pin in the gate to keep the gate from going up. So they just can't, because if they get their snouts under that gate, they lift it. Eleanor does it all the time, but I cannot believe the strength in those little ones. Let me tell you. I'm just going to go back here. Ariella said, totally get that, Lisa. Oh, okay, Gwen, you haven't edited it yet. Cool. Well, I will watch it when it comes out. Thanks, Sandy. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was very exciting to be nominated. We are super thrilled, and it was really cool. And we would have been there, but we were dealing with sick pigs, so I wasn't gonna do that. So, thanks, Lisa Colovi. I love to see you too. They are little stinkers, Lisa. They are just ridiculous. They are just ridiculous. We don't have gates like that, Gwen. We have the ones that go straight through and it's adjustable in the bracket. So we don't have the one that goes like that and like that. We have the ones that go straight through the post. And so the gate is in a bracket and it slides up and down. But we've got a pin in it now and it can't move. But I tell you, and they didn't get out. They just got out into the extra area, which they can get out of. I know that. But anyway, at feeding time, they come right back in. But they haven't been able to get out now since Ryan put the pin in. So that's good. Which is good because Eleanor is notoriously putting her snout, because the way Eleanor actually has a longer curved up snout, unlike the rest of them, and she can get under there and she lifts that gate. Oh my gosh. But the adults can't get out. So that works out. Crazy. But yeah, they are total stinkopotamus, as I call them. They just barge right on through like a bulldog. So, oh yeah, and speaking of bulldogs, Diesel's got a scab on this side of his face. He must be having an allergy flare up and rubbing his face on, the floor and the couch. So he's okay, but geez, it's been a week. It's been a week. I'm just looking at the comments. Whoops. They are strong. They are strong. Those little stinkers, Barb, they step on my feet when I'm trying to feed the moms, because I feed the moms first because I can get them focused, and then I quick feed the piglets. And the piglets have learned the hierarchy of you better eat or your mom is going to eat your food. But I got to tell you, those little porkers step on my toes and it hurts. Eleanor, to this day, still steps on my toes. Because even though the boys sit, the girls I never taught to sit. And I wish I did. That is something I will do all the time. But one of the things that I've taught the girls to do over time, because Eleanor kept trying to bowl me over, not on purpose, she's just excited about eating. And so you have to just pay attention when you feed her. So what I do is I say, go to your bowls. Fiona, bowl. Eleanor, bowl. And they do walk over to their bowls. Fiona's a little more compliant than Eleanor. So, but they're super strong. Barb, if you remember when we had Maggie and Winston, Maggie used to toss that hog panel. Oh, she was crazy. Toss the water all the time, spilling it. So what else are you guys up to? I'm curious. Did you have a good New Year? Did you do anything? We were home, obviously. I think I was in bed by 9:30 because I just had enough and was worried and checking on pigs. So I just went to bed. And then we got up early and we're checking them, which is all good. I just missed the ball drop because I grew up in New York City, so I really like seeing the ball drop and seeing all the crazy people in Times Square, which is crazy. Made prime rib for 67 people. It was fantastic. Wow, Sandy, that is awesome. That is awesome. I love that. That is so cool. Lisa Colovi made a prime rib and said it was the best one she ever made for Christmas Day. Gwen said made chili with 24 pounds of ground beef for our neighbor's party. Wow, you guys had a big old party. Sandy said, 3rd year I have cooked it. How exciting. Now, is that at your house or is that like in your community, Sandy? That's really neat. We were home. We were gonna do our usual appetizers all night instead of a meal, and then we ended up just eating the shrimp because we really weren't in the mood to eat anything, but needed to eat something, if you know what I mean. And we were kind of bummed about the pigs, so we have been noshing on all the stuff since then. At the clubhouse in our village. How fun. How fun. Spartman said we stayed at home and did nothing. Wife had to work overnight, so I texted her Happy New Year. Oh, that's sweet. Yep, you gotta make do with what you can when folks have to work. And I know Ryan worked overnight many holidays where I've texted him and wished him Happy New Year or Merry Christmas. So it's challenging for sure. Barb said I made excuse me, French dip sandwiches and video the neighbors' fireworks. I saw that. It was so cool. That's nice. Yeah, we made queso yesterday. And ate the rest of it today. And then like I said, we had the shrimp. And that was it. And then we had the boneless wings for lunch yesterday. Because again, we just weren't in the mood for it. Gwen says, I have no idea. Oh, excuse me. I have no idea how many people were at the party. LOL. We had a good time though. Came home about 11 and in bed before midnight. Nice. Nice. Sounds like a good time though. Yes, I did use Velveeta cheese. I admit it. I used the small block of Velveeta and a can of Rotel with green chilies. And it was really good. And so we made that Christmas Eve for our appetizers, and I bought a jar of queso because I was like, I don't feel like making it. I will never buy the jar again, ever. It was terrible. It was terrible. For sure, Lisa, for sure. But yeah, the queso was just so good. So good. And I'm gonna try, I would like to try making my own Velveeta. I've seen videos on that. So I would like to try to make my own Velveeta and then make the queso and see if it's still the same. Because I am not a Velveeta fan. The only time I eat it is in queso. Otherwise, I won't eat it. So I'm kind of a weirdo. And I think the only reason I bought it this time is I did not observe any bio ingredients. Bioengineered ingredients on the label, or I would not have bought it. Gwen said we had ham, cabbage, black-eyed peas, and cornbread yesterday. Oh, and Amanda made mac and cheese. That's awesome. I love it. Busy You said I have a great recipe and have the sodium citrate I will share. Yes, thank you. I love it. I saw a couple reels on Instagram where people were making it, and I was like, yeah, it's probably not real healthy, Ariel. But hey, if you like it, if it's in moderation, that's the way I figure it. We've gotten to be, we're not, they say it on social media, like people are crunchy. We're not crunchy. Okay. But I get so irate when I see bioengineered ingredients that I won't buy it. So the mozzarella sticks that I like are off the purchasing list. Chicken wings are off the purchasing list. I really love Asian food. I've been trying to make more of it here. Like I made beef ramen noodles and I made chicken ramen, and it was to die for. But I'm not naive. I realize if you go out to eat, you're gonna have that. But I try to avoid that stuff. And Farm Rich, I think, was the mozzarella company that really disappointed me. because how do you call yourself farm rich and then have crap ingredients? But anyway, um, yeah. So we've been making a lot of our appetizers. So we took chicken breasts that we raised, and we ended up doing boneless chicken wings in the air fryer, and it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And one thing that we bought recently, we got it on a Black Friday sale. We bought because we wanted to get rid of our microwave, our toaster, and our air fryer, right? So we got rid of the air fryer. We gave it to our son because that was actually fairly new. We got rid of the microwave, which was still hanging on, but at any point could go. And we got rid of our toaster. And we replaced it with one item that has multifunctions. And what I love about it is it's a Breville multifunction oven, functions as a dehydrator, air fryer, roaster, toaster, all this stuff. And I'm glad we bought it because it's one appliance. It sits on the food preservation station, if you guys remember that. It's out of the kitchen, but in the summertime, we can heat up food and the whole house is not going to get hot like an oven. And I thought we would miss the microwave. I don't. I do not miss the microwave at all. The food is so much better in this little oven, and I just cannot believe it. And I'm not upset about it not being quick, like, a minute or two in the microwave. I'm not. It doesn't bother me one bit. But I am so thrilled to have extra counter space because I have all those items off and we gave them away. Super thrilled. Let's see. Busy You said, made some yogurt cheese with different flavors. You will have to try some. Ooh, that sounds so good. Hey, Smoky Mountain Blessed. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Hope you and Donnie are doing well. But yeah, it's, here we are, 2026. Yes, I am aware it includes genetically modified corn or soybeans. I'm okay with that. I struggle with some of the other things because it said that what I read was it also includes lab engineered ingredients. I'm not as upset about genetically modified, but I am upset with the lab stuff. And after eating the food that, we raise, or, that farmers raise, yeah, I'm convinced they've been feeding us garbage for years. It makes me crazy. Microwave is useful, but not delicious. Yeah, I mean, we use it for reheating stuff, Ariella. I think the only thing I might claim to miss is I really do like heating my coffee back up, but not the end of the world. I've got an electric teapot, which is really helpful, a kettle, a pour over kettle, so I really like that. Smoky Mountain Bless said, we got rid of microwave years ago and my headache stopped. We came to stay in the cabin and I got headaches, had to unplug the microwave to stop the migraines for days in this cabin. Wow. Well, I'm glad you realized what it was and you're feeling better. For sure. Avoiding Campbell's now. Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. We're just trying to do make what we can, and again, not crunchy, just try and eat good, eat local, and that kind of deal. And if we can make it ourselves, we make it ourselves, I'm really glad you haven't dealt with headaches since unplugging the microwave. It's crazy. You're probably very sensitive to LED lights too, I would assume. That's wild. So we will see. And then, in the new year, we're looking at taking on the kitchen because more and more drawers are not working and breaking and falling apart because we should have done it in 2020, but then the pandemic hit. So we are looking to do the kitchen ourselves because while we can still do it, but it's making me sick to my stomach because the price is just off the wall. I should make Diesel a sweater. He doesn't like to wear them. I would. I made him a hat once before. I crocheted him a hat with ear holes. And he's got a beautiful Carhartt. I bought him when we moved to South Dakota, a Carhartt coat. And even then, he barely wears it unless it's below 0. Oh, you're welcome, Joy. I'm just glad you found out what it was, But yeah, we just try to streamline things, and it's really, the kitchen is really the last room in the house. So we're waiting on an estimate. But again, we're putting it in, and we have to do the floor and all that. So it'll be the kitchen where the table is as well, and then right straight through to the utility sink and laundry room and toilet. So thanks, Sandy. Everything seems to break at the same time. I think the inanimate objects have talks with each other. They do. They do. That is for sure. And you talk about planned obsolescence, right? Planned obsolescence. We're not even replacing well, I will say this, we're not replacing the dishwasher or the refrigerator. Why? Because I'm sure they'll go out quick enough and they'll need to be replaced because they've already been replaced once since we're living here. The stove, on the other hand, we've been limping along for a very long time. So the stove will be new, but we're not doing like every appliance is going to be new. No. Sorry, not my thing. It's too expensive. The cabinets are going to be expensive enough. So, but we just need something functional. I mean, we've got this 70s range hood on top of our stove. And when you take quarts out of the canners, it's a wonder we don't drop them. It's like a 2-person operation. Ryan's got to pull the pot out, or I got to pull the pot out and hold it off the burner so we can pull the jar straight up instead of tilting it and all this stuff. Stove faucet, please no number 3. Oh yeah, exactly. You've been through it. I get it. Yeah, I mean, everything is just made like garbage nowadays, and it's just really sad because it's not even worth buying the expensive stuff because it just dies too. We bought a real nice LG washer in North Carolina, and we were like, oh, well, let's do this because we think this will be better for us. It was more trouble than it was worth. So we went back to the cheap washers, and they last longer for us. Of course, LG, I've heard nothing but nightmares about now. So we'll see. But yeah, it's just crazy. Anybody else want to share anything? I'm curious. I'm just trying to, well, let me select. All right, guys. Well, it was good spending Friday night with you. We're hoping to get some more pigs done. Like I said, I'm hoping to have the pig crate video out on Monday is my goal, as long as the weekend is quiet. They do build that they can break down, so you have to buy another one. That's planned obsolescence. Look up, in fact, I was reading about it the other day. Look up, hang on a minute, let me find it. Look up the Phoebus Cartel. It's PHO. Hang on, let me type it in there. Good to see you too, Sandy. Blessings to you for 26. Phoebus Cartel and planned obsolescence. I have to sound it out. Hold on, I spelled that wrong. I think I spelled it right. Yeah, definitely check that out. 77 tomorrow. Geez, Barb. We were 52. 52. Not today, yesterday, and we cleaned every barn because it was incredibly beautiful out. Chicken coop, everything. So this year's spring clean of the chicken coop will not be a nightmare with the deep bedding because I've been cleaning it out up to January so far. So yay! I go in and I scoop under the roosts, get all the manure out, throw in a bag of shavings, and we're back in business. So it works perfectly. Well, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you spending the evening with me. And stay cool, Ariel. I know it's hard, 90 degrees there in Australia. But I hope you all have a wonderful week and a happy new year. Take care, guys. See ya.